Hi guys, and welcome to another Fool of the Week. This week's Fool is Tory MP and soon to be not MP Nick Fletcher. So what did Nick do to warrant Fool of the Week? He seemed to be endorsing a candidate not just from any political party, but from Reform UK, an organisation that is determined to bring down the Tories. Fletcher told people in the constituency of Ashfield to vote for Lee Anderson, the guy who defected to Reform some weeks ago. The bigger problem, of course, is that he kept the whip, at least at the time of this recording, showing both how the party is a mess and Rishi Sunak is too weak to stamp any sort of authority. Health Minister Maria Caulfield tried to paper over the cracks here when she appeared on Sky News.
I want to ask you about something else. It's a tweet from your Conservative colleague Nick Fletcher, who today basically bigged up Lee Anderson, another former colleague of yours. There you go. I so wish Lee Anderson had remained with the Conservative. Ashfield has its greatest champion. I hope they appreciate what he's done for his hometown and his country at the next election. Conservative MP endorsing a politician from a rival political party. What's going on?
Well, I think Nick did a follow-on tweet from that to...
I bet he did, but
to say that,
that's his first one.
But obviously, Lee was a Conservative MP. They came in at the same time. We do develop friendships in politics, and sometimes people put politics aside to comment on close working relationships.
So how would you feel if you were the Conservative candidate in Ashfield and his first one, before the whips told him off, was come vote for someone else from another party?
Well, I think Nick has clarified that and said, of course, he wants people to vote Conservative because he recognises actually a vote for Reform will just give you a Labour government. And, we've seen that in plenty of the by-elections. We've seen that in the polling. Reform aren't going to get a single MP. Even Lee's seat, where I'm sure he's popular, just shows that it's not going to be a Reform candidate. It's not going to be Lee that wins that seat. So people have got to get, will be focusing their minds closer to the election. And there's no doubt that if you vote for Reform, it's just going to be a vote for Keir Starmer.
Does this stuff annoy you? As somebody, you're part of the government, does this sort of lack of discipline annoy you?
No, not really.
Of course it annoys her. How could it not annoy her? Imagine if another MP endorsed Reform UK in her constituency. She wouldn't be too happy about it. Now, there are a number of possibilities here, but there are two I want to entertain. First is that Nick Fletcher is an idiot. He doesn't have a functioning brain. He didn't realise, it was a stupid idea to endorse Lee Anderson. Remember, there's another MP and there's another candidate in the constituency, one of our candidates that I should actually be endorsing, not Lee Anderson. So there's that possibility. There's also another possibility, and it comes down to, his own constituency. So he's the MP for Don Valley, and he won it in 2019 with a majority of just 3,630, which is pretty much nothing. We've seen majorities of over 20,000 overturned in by-elections. Now, by-elections are different to the general, but this is not a safe majority. This used to be a Labour seat. It's likely to flip back to Labour. Now, Nick Fletcher could be, and this is just speculation, I don't know whether this is actually true or not, but he could be trying to suggest to Reform UK voters that, we're all pretty much the same. Reform UK, the Conservatives, at the end of the day, there's no real difference. So you might as well vote for me. That could be his thinking. Because been racking my brain trying to understand, why would Nick Fletcher endorse Lee Anderson? Why would he throw a Conservative candidate under a bus to help Lee Anderson in a way? Is it him reaching out to, maybe not so much to Reform UK, but to Reform UK voters or potential voters and say, look, we're all pretty much the same. Lee is a great guy. I'm a great guy. We're all great people on the right. So you might as well vote for the Tories. There's no point really voting for Reform UK. Maybe that's his thinking. Or maybe the other one is that he's just stupid. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. And I'll see you next time for our next Fool of the Week.